Shakeem, Rockdale News here at Heritage Head Football Coach Wonder Early. Coach Early, congrats on the win. You beat Appalachia, what was it, 28 to 21?
35-28.
35-28. Okay, Coach, talk a little bit about that win and how your defense was able to keep you guys, ahead for most of the game.
Well, we stopped the running game. Our guys did a great job. Our coaches did a great job of coming up with a game plan and preparing our youngsters to be able to stop the wing tee. Because sometimes if you don't see the wing tee very often, it's difficult to stop. And we did a tremendous job of doing that. So they got into this spread and started throwing the ball around. And they had one receiver who was very, very good. And he would go up and high point the ball and really did a great job of making some catches. And our kids, for the most part, we stopped them. But we had some pass interference penalties trying to struggle to go up with that guy. And so that kind of kept them in the game.
Coach, talk about your offensive performance a little bit.
Well, initially we played very, very well. We were able to run the football and did some great things. We had some center snap issues in the second half, 5 errant snaps, which led to 2 turnovers. We've struggled with some things all year, and they came back to haunt us some. We've definitely got to get better at those things, continue to work hard. I mean, we've been working hard, but we'll continue to work hard and try to get better.
Okay. Coach, talk about, you guys are 3-4 now. And I think in a 4-way tie with about 4 other teams, and
Yeah.
just sitting outside that 4th playoff spot, you guys could need. I think you need a little help to get in.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about those playoff implications.
Well, we're sitting in a tie with 3 or 4 other teams. If we win out, if we were to beat Clark Central and beat Winder Barrow, then we do need help. Loganville actually would hold a tiebreaker over us. If they won out, they would have the spot. However, they still have Lanier and Clark Central to go. Whereas we have Clark Central and Winder Barrow. So if we went out and they lose one of their next 2 games because they were defeated the other night by Flowery Branch, then we would have the tiebreaker over them. So we think that Loganville may have their hands full with Lanier and with Clark Central. And although we have our hands full too, we're really not thinking about that, to be honest with you, Shakeem. We are worried about ourselves. We're worried about us taking care of our business. So if we take care of our business and we think what may happen can happen, then we would sneak into the playoffs. And in this region, if even though we've struggled at times during the season, and a lot of people would look at our season as being somewhat of a disappointment, even with those early troubles that we've had, we can still make the playoffs. And once you get into the playoffs, then it's a brand new season. And anything goes, anything can happen. So we're excited about it, and we're up for the challenge this week of going to Clark Central and pulling off an upset.
Coach, talk about playing at Clark Central a little bit. That's a tough place to play. They're a tough team. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, they're very talented. They're big up front and very talented, very athletic. They're down a little bit from, I think, what Clark Central has been in the past. But they're still a very good football team. They're very talented across the board. They have a great running back. They have a defensive end and a defensive tackle that are Division I players. We've got our hands full. There's no doubt about it. I think defensively we'll stack up very well against them if we solve a couple of things that we ran into Friday night. Appalachia was able to exploit a weakness here and there and allowed them to stay in the game. And they did a great job of doing that. So we've got to deal with that. We've got to make sure that we're ready to handle those kinds of things. However, I think our defense matches up fairly well with them. Offensively, we're still experiencing some execution issues, and so we've got to do that. We've got some talented youngsters. We've just got to do a better job of getting the ball out to them in the grass and letting them do their thing. But if we're able to continue to improve and continue to solve those issues, then I think we have every right in the world to think that we can go out there and win.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.